In life, we are constantly faced with choices. From the small, everyday decisions to the big, life-altering ones, our choices shape the path we walk. Yet, there are times when we feel lost, uncertain about which direction to take. How do we make the right choice when we don't have clear answers? The fear of making a mistake can paralyze us, preventing us from moving forward. Today, we will explore Buddha's wisdom on how to confidently make choices in life. This guidance, drawn from his teachings, offers clarity and helps us release the burden of doubt and fear. By understanding the essence of choice and the importance of intention, we can navigate the uncertainties of life with peace and confidence. Life is full of choices. Our lives are filled with countless choices. Some are simple, like what to eat for lunch or which clothes to wear. Others are monumental, such as choosing a career path or deciding who to marry. Every choice, big or small, has an impact on our future. But with so many options, how can we know which one is right? It's natural to feel overwhelmed at times. The fear of making the wrong decision can create anxiety. We wonder, what if I regret this choice? What if I fail? This fear stems from the attachment to outcomes and the uncertainty of the future. But the Buddha teaches us that this fear of making the wrong choice is a result of our attachment to success and failure. Buddha's approach to decision-making. Buddha did not offer a specific formula for making choices. Instead, he shared a way of being that helps us navigate life's uncertainties. According to Buddha, the key is not to look for the perfect choice, but to act with mindfulness and a clear heart. Buddha's teachings encourage us to cultivate wisdom, not to fear making mistakes, but to approach every situation with a mind that is clear and an intention that is pure. It is not the choice itself that is important, but how we engage with it. Buddha often spoke about the importance of intention. Every action we take begins with a thought, and the energy behind that thought shapes the outcome. If we act with the intention of seeking peace, harmony, and wisdom, then regardless of the result, we will walk a path that is aligned with our highest good. A story of wisdom and choice. In a small village nestled in the mountains, there lived a wise sage. People from all over, both near and far, would visit him to seek advice. One day, a young man named Taro came to the sage with a heavy heart. Taro had worked as a farmer his whole life, following in his father's footsteps. But now, at the age of 20, he began to feel uncertain about his future. Should he continue working on the farm, or should he leave the village and try something new? Taro was filled with fear. If he stayed, he would remain stuck in a life that felt too small for him. If he left, he feared he would fail and have nowhere to return. Taro explained his dilemma to the sage, asking for guidance. The sage listened carefully to Taro's words and then asked, "What is it that you fear most about your choice?" Taro replied, "I am afraid of making the wrong choice. I worry that I will fail no matter what I choose." The sage nodded and smiled gently. "You are not alone in this fear. All human beings face this uncertainty. But Buddha's teachings offer a path to freedom from such fear. Buddha did not say that one path is better than the other. He said that it is not the choice that matters, but how you walk the path once you have made it. Can you walk either path with a full heart, with full intention? Can you commit fully to whatever choice you make?" Taro was silent. He had never thought of his decision this way. The sage continued, "Fear is natural. But if fear holds you back and stops you from acting, it becomes your challenge to overcome. The choice itself does not have a right or wrong answer. What matters is how you live that choice with sincerity and commitment." The experiment. The sage then proposed a small experiment to Taro. "For today, focus all your energy on the path of farming. Dedicate yourself to it completely. Then tomorrow, visit the neighboring village and experience what life outside the farm feels like. With these two experiences, you will begin to feel which path you can walk with your whole heart. Taro followed the sage's advice. For one day, he worked diligently in the fields, giving all his attention to the task at hand. The next day, he ventured outside the village, experiencing life in a different environment. He spoke with merchants and felt the energy of the bustling town. Both paths had their own charm, but also their challenges. The sage's wisdom began to settle in Taro's heart. It's okay to feel uncertain. Uncertainty is the beginning of wisdom. It's not about finding the perfect answer, but about committing to the path with clarity and sincerity. Embracing the moment. Weeks passed, and Taro chose to continue his work on the farm. But even after making his decision, doubt occasionally crept into his mind. Was this the right choice? Should he have pursued something else? Taro returned to the sage, explaining his concerns. I still have doubts. Even after I made my decision, I wonder if it was the right one. The sage smiled. It is normal to feel doubt after making a choice. But Buddha's teachings guide us to focus on the present moment, not on the future. You are concerned about whether your choice was right, but that concern is taking you away from the present. Do not worry about what you cannot control. What you must focus on is how you live this moment. Are you living with full presence and heart? The sage reminded Taro that it wasn't the future result that mattered, but how he engaged with each moment along the way. If you focus only on the outcome, you will miss the beauty and lessons of the journey itself. Living with intention. Buddha teaches that we should live with intention. Every choice, every action, should be made with a deep sense of purpose. Whether we are working in the fields or exploring new opportunities, it is important to pour our energy into whatever we do. When we live with intention, we are fully present in each moment, and we find meaning even in the simplest tasks. The sage spoke again. When you live with intention, the path you walk becomes meaningful. Even the simplest tasks, when done with love and care, become a way to discover deeper truths. The quality of your actions, not the result, is what defines your path. The storm and the lesson. One day, a sudden storm struck the village, devastating much of Taro's crops. He was devastated. Perhaps my choice was wrong, he thought. If I had left the village, I wouldn't have faced this loss. He visited the sage again, filled with doubt. My choice has led to failure. What do I do now? The sage listened quietly and then spoke. The storm did not prove that your choice was wrong. It gave you a chance to learn and grow. In Buddha's teachings, every event has meaning. The storm is not punishment. It is an opportunity to learn how to rebuild, how to persevere, and how to continue with strength. Taro realized that he was focused on the loss, but he could choose to focus on the rebuilding process. Instead of seeing the storm as a sign of failure, he saw it as a challenge that would teach him new skills and resilience. The power of community. As Taro began to rebuild, he was not alone. The villagers came together to help him, offering support and guidance. Taro realized that his choice to stay in the village was not a solitary decision. It was intertwined with the lives of others. The power of community was vital to his growth and success. He returned to the sage and said, I now understand. I thought that choice was something I had to do alone, but I see now that choices are connected to others. It is not just about the decision, but about how we walk it together. The sage smiled and nodded. Yes, Taro. Buddha teaches that all beings are interconnected. Your choices affect others, and their choices affect you. The path is not just yours alone. Conclusion. Trusting your path. Taro's life changed as he embraced the wisdom of Buddha's teachings. He stopped fearing his decisions and instead focused on living each moment with full intention. His farm flourished, not because he chose the right path, but because he walked it with purpose, sincerity, and a deep connection to the people around him. The lesson Taro learned is one that we can all apply in our lives. No matter the choice we face, we must focus on living with intention and dedication. It's not the choice that determines our happiness, but how we live it. By embracing the present moment and trusting in the wisdom of our hearts, we can make confident choices and walk the path of life with clarity and peace. Let us not fear making choices, but instead, embrace the journey that comes with them. For it is in the journey, not the destination, that we find the true meaning of life. Thank you for watching, and may you find peace and clarity in your own choices.